How to break out of cycles. First things first is have no fear. You must have no fear because oftentimes we carry fear and baggage with us into new circumstances and situations because we fear patterns and old scenarios repeating themselves, right? Happening again. But fearing that and holding on to that baggage is what causes it to happen again. You see what I'm saying? So the starting point is to have no fear, because when you have fear, it's going to result in baggage. What do I mean by this? If I'm fearful that if I get my heart broken and I'm fearful that I'm going to experience this feeling again in a whole new situation, because I have that fear there, I'm going to bring, like, automatically, simultaneously, I'm bringing baggage with me to this new situation to even have that fear in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Is because baggage is there. If I'm in a new situation and I'm not fearing what happened in the past repeating itself, I'm not fearing experiences, I'm not fearing emotions, there is no fear anywhere, then I'm not going to bring old feelings, old scenarios, old shit into my new situation. So the first things first is to have no fear. And my advice for this, because it's easier said than done, I would just remember, like, how you picked yourself up and got through it. Like, just realize and recognize yourself and your strength and how you were able to get through that and how you're still able to smile again and how you're still able to stand here and consider entering a whole new situation where the same thing could pretty much happen again to you, but you're still deciding to enter that new situation. You're not being a coward and being like, no, I can't get my heart broken. Like, are you like, that's a weak spirit. But you're not a weak spirit. And you're willing to have courage and take the risk and put your foot forward, your best foot forward, as if that never happened before. As if that what happened didn't even faze you. You see what I'm saying? Like, really just recognize yourself in your internal power and your internal strength, and just believe and know that you can get through anything. And so there's no reason to fear certain situations, fear certain emotions, fear anything. Another thing that could really help get rid of, like, the fear is to just acknowledge both sides of the possibility. Like, yes, it's a possibility that it could you could end up experiencing something you don't want to experience, but it's also a possibility that you could end up experiencing something that you do want to experience. And anyways, you're not supposed to be entering a new experience with thoughts and feelings anyways. That's demonic, because now you're just like, you're supposed to just enter in new situations like fully, just like bare, vulnerable, naked, just empty, just mute. Just You're just entering it and you're just seeing what's up, and whatever happens. That's really the way you're supposed to do it. But if you have baggage and you're kind of traumatized from past experiences and you're kind of hesitant, don't let that fear eat you up. Stop for a second and consider all the possibilities, like the good side and the bad side. Yeah, like, yes, this could go awful, and or this could also go good. Like, this could be the best thing that ever happened to me. And you want to lean fully into both. Like, don't just only lean into the bad just because of your experiences from the past. Lean into the good also. Like, yeah, my ex really fucking broke my heart, and this dude could do that too, or this dude could show me a love I never even had before. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to fully lean into both. You don't want to just fully lean into the good, because this was my problem growing up. I only leaned into the good. Like, I only saw, like, the good possibilities. Like, oh, he could be the one, but I didn't pay any attention to the bad ones. Like, or he could just play me like the last dude did. Like, I never paid attention to the bad one. I only paid attention to the good one. And like that led me to just be someone that was just very naive and gullible and was very easy to take advantage of. And so I had to learn to embrace the bad with the good. And kind of come down to earth a little bit and just be a little realistic. Like, hey, like, he could also, you know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be that naive, gullible person, but you also don't want to be that closed off, traumatized, demonic person that's in hell and can't get out of their own shit because they're too weak of a spirit to just actually live again because they've been through so much shit and they can't heal from it. They can't let it all go. You see what I'm saying? They can't release their baggage. They can't move forward. They can't move on. They can't just let bygones be bygones no matter how bad and how much it hurt. You see, so now they're just in their own hell. Like, for what? So you don't want to lean into either or. You don't want to only lean into either or. You want to lean into both. You want to have that equilibrium. And then that'll just put you in a neutral space. That's the space of God right there. Neutral. Nothing. Just, I'm not excited about this situation. I'm not scared. I don't have any thoughts and feelings. Like, I'm just going into the situation mute, naked, and just seeing whatever comes from it. Because you are fully aware of both of the possibilities. It can really go either way. It could go somewhere in between. Like, possibilities are endless. So that's another way that could really help get rid of the fear, so you're not taking in baggage anywhere when you're entering new situations. Also, when you have no fear, when you don't fear shit repeating, you're able to just let bygones be bygones and let it go and not cling on to it. And you're able to actually just move forward and move on from the past when you don't fear your past repeating, which is like so deep. It took me forever to get this because I'm a Scorpio, and Scorpios have trouble with letting shit go. We have attachment issues. Because as Scorpios, we put so much time and energy and shit into shit, and other people call it obsession, but like, no, like, it's an investment. We're not obsessed, we're just investing. Okay, let me stop. So you have to fully let go of your past and in order for it to not repeat itself. Because that fear is a form of attachment. So when you fear something, you're attached to it. Because when you fear something, you think about it all the time. You talk about it all the time. You're doing the most to avoid it. Like, it's always on your mind. Like, that sounds like someone that's attached. So you don't want to be attached to your past, because that shit is of course that shit's gonna repeat itself. Because like I just said, if you're thinking about something all the time and you're talking about it all the time, that's also how you manifest shit. So, like, you're literally manifesting your past events all over again. And that's literally, like, why you keep thinking about it and feeling about it, is because you don't want it to repeat, but yet you feeling and thinking about it is how it's repeating. And that's how you're stuck in that cycle in the first place. See what I'm saying? Everything works in reverse. So you have to completely forget about your past. You have to heal from it, let it go, and forget about it like it never happened. Like, your heart was never broken. Of course, you're wiser now, so don't act like you didn't learn what you learned. Take the lessons with you. Leave the past where the past is at. Don't relive it in your mind. It's not a memory in your head anymore. You forgot about it. You don't even remember the situation. You don't remember the details. You don't even remember his name. You don't remember shit. All you know is not to do something based off that past situation. You know now not to do it. But you don't. It's like, I don't know why I know that. Real shit, amnesia, bitch. It's like, I don't know why I know this. I just know not to da-da-da-da-da, but I don't know how I know that, but I just know that. Period. Like, instead of, I now know never to da-da-da-da, because back when I was 5 years old, my mom da-da-da-da-da-da, so now I will never da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, that just sounds like somebody that's heavy, somebody that's stuck in a rut, stuck in a cycle, stuck in their past, stuck in a storyline, stuck in their circumstances, somebody that's up under the storyline, the scenarios that they've been telling themselves, versus somebody that's just all like, I'm not gonna do that. And they'll be like, why? That's just dumb, because like, if you think about it, like if you do that, then the person could just da 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 da. Like it's just not a smart thing to do. Like why would you do that? And they'll be like, yeah, that's some real shit. I'm not gonna do that. That sounds that's just like, okay, you should go look at that person. Like they have some wisdom. Wow, that okay. And they don't seem heavy. They don't seem boggled down by life. They don't seem like they're going through shit. Versus the other person. Like would you even ask that person for advice? The person that's like, I would never da 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 da. Because back when I was 15, that boy da 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 da, and he da 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 da, bruh. Like he really looked me in my eyes and he da 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 da. So now I will never da 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 da. Like when you ask him for advice, versus the person that's just like calm, cool, light, not in his feelings, very, very actually just logical and practical with it and real with it. Like, bro, why would I da 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 da? Because think about it. If I da 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 and then he da 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 da, then what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So why would you da 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 da? That doesn't make sense. When you could literally just da 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 and then he could da 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 and then da 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 and another person would be like, oh right, that's some real shit. I never thought about it like that. They're heavy. They're a lot heavier than the person that just seems wise. So you want to just take the lessons with you. You want to just take the wisdom with you, what you learned from it with you, and you want to leave the story, you want to leave the scenario, you want to leave the situation, like you want to let that shit go. You want to, it is what it is, and like, and it's not even a memory in your head. Like you really forgot about that. Like somebody might bring it up, and then you over here trying to remember, like when that one boy, and they're like, remember in high school you were so in love with that boy. Like, you used to cry every night. I'm like, what boy? What? And are you in high school? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, I mean, I remember, like, having a little crush in middle school, but, like, are you sure that was me? Like, you just don't, you know? Real shit. Because it's like, it's just not relevant anymore. So, like, if it's not relevant and there's nothing, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not even going to be a memory anymore. Like, you're really going to forget that shit. Like, and now, obviously, you might not literally forget, but y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. Damn, we're almost 15 minutes in. So, you want to have no fear. Because when you don't fear that shit repeating, it's not fun to repeat. The second key thing is become a new person. New circumstance, new person. I don't care. Like, it's what you gotta do. It's what you gotta do so you're not carrying any baggage. You gotta be a whole new person. Like, not like completely, but on a small scale. To some degree. You gotta be a new person. So if you have a new job, you cannot be that same person that you were last week that didn't have a job. That person last week that didn't have a job was asking people for food because they were broke. They were asking people if they could babysit their kids because they were out selling drugs, trying to get some money. Or, they were doing broke people shit. They were moving in ways that somebody with a job now, a good paying job at that, don't move because they don't need to move like that because they have a job. You see what I'm saying? So, new situation, new circumstance, new person. Period. If you're still that same person in your new circumstance, you're carrying baggage. It's like, I didn't have a job for so long. Or it might not have even been long, but just for that time I didn't have a job because I have so many kids or so many bills or because I have no one else to lean on. It's like that time I didn't have a job was very hard and very detrimental and I went through a lot. And now you got this job and you not like becoming a new person, like, and you just go in, you just treating that job like, oh, okay, you got a job, but you're still like in the headspace of you don't have a job. You get what I'm saying? Even though you do have a job, maybe you get a new job, but you just feel like, oh, this job ain't gonna keep me for too long. This job, they're probably gonna end up firing me next week, so I'm not even gonna get too excited. You're gonna go into that job, and guess what's gonna happen? You actually going to end up getting fired the next week, like you said. Because you're carrying all that. You didn't become a new person. You stayed the same. You kept that energy that I ain't shit. I don't even got a job. Oh, I struggle. And you just stayed in that mindset and you stayed in that space, even though you were in a new space. And so since you stayed in that same mindset, that same space is going to motherfucking accumulate, bend in on itself, and become your actions. And that action is going to have a reaction from the boss of you motherfucking getting fired. Or them letting you go, or telling you not to come back. Because you did not become a new person. If you was like, yo, I got this job, I don't know if they're gonna keep me, but you know what, like, I'm gonna just celebrate. Like, I got a job. I'm not broke no more. Like, yo, I'm about to, my first check. You're already making plans for your first check. Like, you walking, when you're in public, you don't feel inferior anymore. You feel like you feel like you belong now. You feel like you're one with everybody. Like, yeah, because I got a job now. I mean, that's some really Masonic. That's really somebody that's lost in the world. But this is just an example. It's like, wow, I got a job now. Like, I'm one with everybody. I'm level. Like, you talking to people. Like you got this confidence about you now. Like, you a new person now. You know what I'm saying? You got a little pep to your step. You know, you just got to glow. Like, you different. Somebody that saw you in the streets last week might be looking at you like, wow, you seem different. How you been? Like, they could just tell shit, new things have came into your life based on this new person that you have become. You know what I'm saying? And so now you walk into that job like you owning the job. Like your lingo is different. Like, you're talking to the co-workers like you belong there. And then now you end up just fitting right in with everybody. Everyone likes you. They're like, wow, where has this person been? And it's like, we want to now they're trying to give you a raise. They're trying to put you in higher positions now and shit. Like, you see what I'm saying? You can't make this shit up. Like, you can't make this shit up. Because you match the energy. It's a new scenario. It's a new situation. And you became a new person that matches that new space. You see what I'm saying? So, apply this to any situation in your life. Like, any situation. You in a new relationship, you cannot carry the same. If your ex-boyfriend made you feel ugly and not shit, and you were just super like submissive and just like, yeah, I ain't shit, but I still really want you, and you just go into the new relationship like with that same like energy of feeling like less than yourself and just like wanting the other person to like love you, they're gonna feel that energy off of you, and they're just gonna be like, oh, this is somebody that don't love themselves. This is somebody that I could easily just, like, you're like prepping the situation to repeat itself. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're approaching the situation in the same format as your last situation, and so the person is just in this format now, like seeing the way that you're approaching it, and it's like, they're just going with your, like, they're okay, well, they're putting me on this pedestal. You know, humans are demons. Every now and then you come across somebody that's like, they'll see like, okay, they're putting me on this pedestal and they're like really down on themselves, and they won't like take advantage of it. Like, they'll like try to lift you up a bit and be like, yo, like, you know, you actually beautiful, like, you know, you a queen, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know? But for the most part, you won't even, because you're still in that space and mindset and never got out of it, you most likely attracted somebody that is similar to the last dude. And so they'll do the same things that the last dude did, especially since you're still approaching the situation in that same template of you're above me, I'm below you, and you could just treat me like shit and just make me work for your love, because that's what I'm used to, and that's the space that I'm still in. So clearly I must like being here because I'm still in this motherfucking space. You know what I'm saying? Or I just don't know how to get out of it. But that's why this video is here, okay? To help you guys get out of these motherfucking cycles, okay? So you need to just be a new person. All right? First thing, let go of fear, let go of that cycle repeating. Let go of fear of experiencing certain emotions, having certain experiences, experiencing certain types of people. Just let go of fear, period. And then become a new person. Period. Like, just those two things. And you'll be breaking out of cycles. You'll be breaking out of cycles. You'll start experiencing new things. It might not go in the way that you want them to go, but it's not going to go in the way that it's been going in that last cycle. No fear. Space is clear. Period. Space is clear as in, like, there's no baggage. Like, it's a clear, empty, like, you're just naked, going into the experience naked. Everything's cleared out, and you're just going into this experience and seeing what comes out of it. You're no fear. Space is clear. What was the other one? New person, new outcome. Period. Everything that's great not only takes time, but also takes sacrifice and takes risk. So look at your old you, the old version of yourself, as a sacrifice. You're gonna have to risk, the cycle repeating. Well, if you stay with this, with no fear, and entering new situations as a new person every time, you are going to get a new outcome. But it's not going to happen immediately. So don't click off this video and just say, like, okay, I'm letting go of all the baggage, and you meet a guy and you're like, okay, you're like this new person, like, okay, all my exes made me feel like shit, but I'm this new person now because what exes, so like I'm super confident, and then he goes and he ends up doing the same thing that they all did, and then it's all like, what the fuck, this didn't work. And it's like, it's not that it didn't work, it's like it's not going to happen immediately. It's like an echo, like it comes in waves. Like, your old mindset, you still, like, it was in the process of accumulating. You get what I'm saying? So when you switched it up, that cycle still has to, like, fully finish out and go through. And then as you stay in the new cycle, that's when the effects of that new person and you letting go of the fear, that's when that's actually going to start to pour in. If you get what I'm saying, it's like an echo. You get what I'm saying? So it's not going to happen immediately. Like, you have to wait until all of the shit that you've done accumulated from being in that space has passed before all of before all of the things that all of the accumulation that you've accumulated by being in this new space actually starts to pour in. But you have to spend time in that new space for accumulation to even happen. Accumulation happens over time, so you're going to have to spend some time in that new space while still dealing with the accumulation of the old space. And just hold on, because eventually that wave is going to pass, and then the new wave is going to come in, and they're actually going to start to see the benefits of this new space, the results of this new space that you're in. You're going to start to witness the accumulation of it. So It's not going to happen immediately. You're going to have to hold out, but just stay in that new space and just know that it's accumulating and that the results are coming. It's manifesting, okay? So, that is how you break out of a cycle, is by committing to a new version of yourself, wholly and completely, but also in small increments. Whenever you're entering a new situation, you're not entering it as that, as the version of you that didn't have that situation. Now you have that situation, so act like it. Be new, period. Brand new. Period. And just no fear. Like, do not fear it repeating. And even if it does repeat, you still don't motherfucking fear it repeating. It's like, well, that happened again. I'm gonna enter this new situation, and I'm not gonna fear it happening this time. I'm not gonna worry about it. Don't be like, oh, it's not gonna happen this time, because you don't know that. It could, but it also could not. You want to embrace both possibilities. So you're just neutral, and you just enter in a situation like, not worried about it. Not worried about it. If it repeats or not. Okay? It takes a strong spirit, but it's possible, and you can do it. If you just got to want to break out of the cycle bad enough, and if you stick to it, you will. Okay? So, bye guys. Thank you for tuning in.